Good morning all, my name is Yiannis and welcome to the first live trading room. I'm super excited because this is where I used to live on YouTube, and as you know, I have now been very busy creating a lot of content for Trade Set Go, creating educational stuff, creating webinars, which have been really good, but I'm super excited because today we get into what actually matters. So we're going to go into trading. Hello Emperor, nice to see you. Make sure you ask questions, anything like that, because there's going to be a lot of things that you don't know today. So that will be interesting to, let me see, I can hear a little bit my voice on an echo. We'll fix that. Let's see. We're going to be going live for the London session. I'm going to be trading pound dollar. If you were in the Discord session yesterday, we called this move to the pip. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you click on this QR code and it will take you straight into our Discord. You'll be able to see I do lives there every Monday. Very similar to what we're doing today, but in that live I do actually the London session. Today we're going to be focusing on the London session, but during my favorite time, which is the London Open. Now, this is the yesterday's trade. This is the new account. This account started as a $5,000 and now it's grown up to 40,000, and I wanted to show you that journey on hopefully how it's going to go to 80. And every time I hit a milestone, then I take money, put it into my CFD brokerage where I can use more leverage, and then I build up and grow it. So I'll show you all that process. And please, during the live, if you have questions, guys, make sure these lives are for you. They're not for me. I trade in the background normally, but I want to do it in front of you because I know it helps a lot of you. So put in the comments, first of all, where you're from, and if you have been in one of these sessions in the past. And yeah, we'll start there. We're going to start with breaking down what happened yesterday, Monday, and what we're anticipating to happen today. Always start with the news, right? So today is the 7th. It's looking pretty clear. Now, the next big event is on Wednesday, the 8th at 10 a.m. This is my time here in Bali. And that's on the New Zealand dollar. USD, we got FOMC meeting minutes on Thursday. So that will definitely move the market. So if you're ever wondering what is FOMC, and I am from Lesotho. Did I say that right? Lesotho. I've never heard of that. Where is that? Sorry for being oblivious, but I've never heard of that. FOMC is, if the FOMC is more hawkish than expected, it's good for currencies. That's all we need to know. So that is where you get your usual effect of what FOMC would do to you. The frequency that happens 8 times per year, guys. So this event doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it actually has an impact. That's coming up on Wednesday. So positions that we're going to be taking, they're going to be impacted by the Wednesday big event that is happening. It is the main event after NFP that we had last week. It's a detailed record of the FOMC most recent meetings, providing in-depth insights into economic and financial conditions that influences their vote on where to set interest rates. And that is land is a morning Serge Jones. Yes, a landlocked country with South Africa. Wow, I didn't know that. Really cool name and a cool place. Emperor, good to have you here. So yeah, that is something that we need to pay attention, but not today, because today we have If we go actually on today's day, can I do that? I mean, we have it here. Let's see if I have anything that is orange event, since we don't have red events. Bank of England, Government Bailey speaks. Okay, that is at 6:30 p.m. It's not going to affect our trade. And IVPMI for Canada. That's not going to affect our trade. So we have a clear open day, which is great. That is great. Now, I've started putting my previous daily high in, and we did take it for the Asian session. We're going to look at that. Asian session is where we start. Now, yesterday, guys, this was the trade. Yesterday, I took a long position on pound dollar. We broke it down in the Discord. We anticipated it for it to go a little bit lower. But where are we? This bad boy here. So this was the trade. We got in and it moved all the way to the tops. I only took 20 pips off that. It gave us 40 pips. Okay, 50% of that move. I'm super happy with that. And now we're taking out the lows of Asia, which is great. I love that. I love that because I want to be bullish on the pound, and I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, I want to see, we've got 52 minutes to prepare the ground for when the volume comes in, and the volume is going to come in during London Open. So we want to be ready for that. Now, I was explaining to the guys yesterday about sell-side liquidity. I was explaining to the guys that Asia had taken London low. We pushed up into the Asian range. We came back and failed to take the lows. So I was bullish on going into New York. We got a nice little entry there. I know why I can't see it, because it was a euro trade. There it is. So we took this here. This was the entry, almost perfect entry. And I only took 20 pips. So I got more than 3/4 of the move there. And as you can see, it's pushing down now nicely. So we're going to start with the dollar index. Because you haven't been on the Discord lives, I'm just going to give you a quick, because a lot of people seeing me for the first time here live on YouTube. I know there's some familiar faces that are coming in and joining. So if you are, let me know, because then we can jump and we don't need to do all the basics from the beginning. But I always start my week, especially Mondays. And sometimes I don't trade Mondays because it can be a little bit manipulated from the previous NFB. As you know, I trade a lot of currencies. That is my main baby. That is what I love it. I love it because I have a way of trading that I call repositioning. And I'll explain that to you now. It's a way of averaging a pound average approach into your trading. And it gives you a little bit of flexibility to have multiple trades instead of a single trade that will be right or wrong. So within this session, I was explaining that the entry, first of all, let's talk about why I was bullish. I don't have my seasonality here. Let me get it up. Let me find it. I need to show you that. Seasonal. So I created a little tool which helps me with, it's not there, which helps me with finding, let's see. Let's find it quickly. There we go, found it. Okay, so the seasonal that we're going to see now, that is a little tool that I've created, and it's based on the what's it called? MRCI charts through. It goes from the 80s all the way to up to date, and I can get a good grasp of what is happening within the markets. Now, it will give me a seasonal pattern for a 40-year, a 15-year, and a 5-year. So that when you go into a trade, you want to know, this is extremely powerful because you want to know what has happened in the last 40 years. when does normally dollar tops up? When does it hit a top? And is there a pattern there that it happens repeatedly through the years? So that's something that we can see. And if I told you without you knowing anything right now, I guarantee you that you would be able to tell me which are the tops. Let's try that. Where do you think the dollar is drops? On the bottom here, we have January to December. The line charts are of the dollar previous 37 years pattern, this line. 15 years is the red, which is dotted, and 5 years pattern is the blue line and also dotted. Emperor, like I said, it's been months. I miss your content here. I used to join your lives back then and it was good. Can't wait to see what you got this time around. Yes, it's going to be a good one. I'm super excited to be back, and especially because they're going to be weeklies. And we're going to see, because if people finding value at this, because at Trade Set Go, we want to offer real value where people are learning and people are understanding the markets and are able to create good habits that they can take into their trading. So you're going to learn a lot during these sessions, because it's all right talking about theory, and it's a different animal when you're actually putting trades lives, explaining the entries. Why am I doing this risk management? Why am I closing the trade too early? Why am I hedging this position? Why am I doing that? So all these questions can only be learned the best way when everything is live. So I don't see anyone in there. Let's putting in the where the dollar highs are. I'll give the answer. Obviously, the dollar highs, if you go to the highest point here, it tops up in the end of March. Then we have a sell-off end of April, May, and it happens on the red line, which is the 15-year. And is this your first stream back? It is. It is my first stream back. I'm super happy to be back. This bottom low here is also a high beginning of July. So guys, I am going to be, since we're talking about the live, I'm just going to reiterate, first of all, like and subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be more coming in. You want to be part of those. Secondly, in our Discord in Trade Set Go, I do lives every Monday. So that will be only in the Discord. So when you go into the Discord, you can go to events and it will give you a schedule when I'm live. And I do exactly the same thing as this, but I only trade the New York session there. Today, we're going to be doing preparation for London, which is in 45 minutes. So we need to be quick. So I'm just going to explain why I'm currently bullish on pound dollar. And by the way, guys, this is for education. Don't take this as signals. Be your own research. I don't want any messages saying, hey, I took your trade. This is not what this is. This is for you to become more aware of different ways of thinking of the markets. And if you can pick something you can learn, amazing. I am from Ghana. Good morning from Ghana. Nice to see you. Afri-Tech. So we've got two highs that we can follow. So I wanted a little bit of a better visual, because here, as you can see, it's hard to say where it is. So I created this little tool here where it tells me where the high is. And I wanted it to focus on the dailies. I can put this in the Discord, guys. So if you join the Discords in the educational hub, I can give you this, because I think it's really useful tool. So this is the dollar index here. Let me know if you want this in the chat, and I'll make sure you can get in so you can have it. So this is a super. You can, if you're trading gold, for instance, you can just type gold, and it will bring up gold, and it will tell you that currently on the 7th we are on an uptrend for gold until September 20th. That is the historical seasonals. Reversal watch, gold is close to major seasonal low. The next 1 to 3 days is not to chase shorts. We're going to have a look at gold for sure. And I'm going to look at my favorite asset, which is GPP. This is the one that has given me more than 30,000 in payouts. And it's my favorite asset to trade. I don't know why, why I'm in sync with pound dollar so much. I think it's because obviously I've been following it for the last 10 years. I understand the British politics. I know what moves the market. I also knew how much it moves. So yeah, that's why I trade a lot of pounds. So you can see that we are close to a low, a seasonal low, expected around 9th of July. Obviously, this is not exact timing, but roughly here, we tend to see a low created in the pound dollar, which is the reverse on the dollar index. So that is what I'm expecting. So that's one reason for me to be bullish on pound dollar, right? So then I'm going to go to my other reason. The other reason, and let's see what happens here. We are getting nice action here. It's almost tempting to get involved now. Let's see. Where's the previous low? Let's see the daily low. I'm going to clean up the charts very soon. The previous daily low. We have room. We're taking the high, pushing down. No, it's too early. It's too early to get involved yet. Let's have a look. It looks like, let's move this guy out. Let me hide some of these drawings. They're a bit annoying. Okay. Let's see what that is. If I take a Fibonacci on this bar here, go to the high, we can see that the 50% is there. In other words, we call it equilibrium, and that is the middle ground of the previous day. I think that's correct. Let me change the Fibonacci to white. %50 of that move. So we're looking at a retracement as well. I want to see a Fibonacci on this push as well. So I want to go on the hour. Look at that clean move there. So we have a clean arena to play with. We've broken the 23. We're looking to retrace on the 50 here. So we need to be a bit patient. The 50 corresponds with equilibrium. That is really nice. That is really nice. So I'm going to be looking at entries around that area. Let me see if my MT5 is ready. I'm on the pound dollar. Let's put a Fibonacci on here so we don't have to switch all the time. The hourly candles look great. Super. So all we need is London to open bearish, which it is. I just want it a little bit more aggressive. And here we can potentially look for a continuation to the, since we are on the overall bullish on the pound dollar. So let's go back on. Let's go back on. We did this. We don't need this. I want to see the other reason that I'm bullish. Let's go, says AP. Nice to see you. So the other reason that I'm bullish on this is for something that everyone hates talking about it, but it's bloody good. So I'm going to tell you. It is the Commitment of Traders report. It comes out every Tuesday. This is one report that I've given you, I've told you about, that I look at. And it gives you the speculators and blah, 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 blah. But this is too complicated. So all I did, I put an indicator on here called retail and leverage. Let's see at retail, what did they do from the previous week? Retail, 90% of the time, get things wrong. And it's great because they added short positions. Another reason to be bullish, right? Is it outside the standard deviation? No, not yet. And that's the ideal setup I'm looking for. You can see here. This is my happy place. When they're outside the standard deviation, we're hitting a low, boom. Look at that long opportunity there. That was in 2022, September. This one is another one here. Outside the standard deviation, boom. This is another one here. It doesn't mean that it's going to be massive moves, but when it happens, it does move. This was close to the standard deviation. It still gave it the trigger, but it's never as clean. So we're seeing a similar setup here, guys. So I'm anticipating a bullish move here. Now, can it happen this week? Can it happen in 2 weeks? It's not a timing tool, this. This is an overall bias. So the reason I want an overall bias is because I want to be able to protect my trade. And if everything aligns, then I can do my risk management a little bit better. So that's what I'm looking to do here. There's potentially another short week coming. As you can see, we've been short, bullish, short, bullish, short, bullish, short, bullish. So there is room for it to move down. But that's why I have these areas here where I can protect myself if I'm wrong and I'm a bit early on the trade. So let's close this. The other thing that I look from the COD, and I'm going to stop talking about a COD because I know you hate it, which is unfortunate because it is one of the best things to look at. I look also at the leverage funds. Now, leverage funds are the funds that are speculating. They are speculating price. This is any contract that was trading above 2 millions. Kalimera Yiannis, similar name to me, a Greek fellow. Good morning. Oh, look at this. Speculators have dropped in shorts. That is giving me a nice indication as well to be bullish because they have been outside the standard deviation. And the difference in speculators is when they realize they're wrong, you will see the following week they will drop quite a bit in contracts. And then the price will continue higher. This is something that is a good signal, but is not the best signal yet. You can see here how we're low in the speculator long, so that is also good. When it's low like this, when it's low like this, we've had bullish opportunities. So that's something that I look. Overall, everything is looking like bullish on the pound dollar, the way I trade, obviously. You might be scalping and you might see short opportunities because we're going downwards, right? Obviously, we all trade differently. Good morning, AZ Real Trades. I think I remember that logo. Right, let's see. So what do we talk about going into bias? One of the other reasons that we didn't talk about is NFP. NFP was so bearish, guys. We had the release data being bearish. We had, and we can see that here if we look at non-farm payroll. Is this non-farm payroll? It was this, but I think, oh wait, I need to do this. Let me do this. Unemployment claims. And I think I crashed the website. Give me a second. So we were below 100K on, even though we were waiting for 110. Maybe you see me in the Fivers live streams, mate. That is probably right. That's where you probably see you. Unemployment claims was, not that one. We need to go back one. It was a Thursday, non-farm payroll. So look at this, guys. We had a forecast which was 114. And we dropped to 57. That is low. That is bloody low. Excuse the language. So it was very bearish. We did a live during this, so we saw the impact that it did have. And you can see normally the yellow lines are quite close with the yellow lines are the forecast. They're quite close to what price can be. But this one was outside the candles. You can see here, it's a big miss. And the revisions were also a bearish revision. So they also added negative onto the contract. So there was there was a very clean signal for bearishness on the dollar. Are you on X? We are on X. We are TradeSetGo. If you check us out on TradeSetGo, we're actually live now on X, so you can go and see the stream from there. You'll be able to see our what's it called? Our logo on there. So yeah, it was really bearish. So we saw that. Then what does that mean when it's bearish for the dollar? Let's go and have a look at the dollar. So the pound dollar, if we look at the dollar index, it was Thursday. Look at this. It was Thursday. This is the NFP candle. Look at that. Boom. A massive drop. Massive drop. And then we had recovery, and then we had a recovery. So someone can say profit taking has been happening here on the dollar index, recalibrating from something that moved the market quite a bit. So now we're probably about in the 50% range of the expansion of NFP. Look at that. We're roughly on that NFP 50% time. So someone could argue that we are kind of calibrated on price. But overall, that was a bearish take. Bearish take on dollar is good news if you want to be bullish on pound, right? Because they're 99% reversely correlated. And what I mean is if you go to your currencies and you hit currencies and you don't do what I'm doing and you go correlations, you will see that the pound is, where's the dollar index? The pound is 93% oppositely correlated to the dollar. So obviously anything that is affecting the dollar negatively will be affecting it positively on the pound. So that's something that we need to bear in mind. So a lot of the times I might do my analysis for the pound dollar chart, but everything looks better when I look at the pound. Oh, sorry, the dollar. So it might be that, for instance, let's do this. And for the people that know me for a long time, they will love this. I've added all the levels now automatically on an indicator, which it will just populate and give us all the levels in one go. It will take a second and ta-da. Not yet, not yet. It's taking its time. There we go. So you can see we have monthly levels here, weekly levels, daily levels, and we have gone, it's holding that daily level here, and now we're pushing higher. A bullish dollar means good things for, a bullish dollar means that we're getting good opportunities on the pound because the pound will be coming down, right? As the dollar is going up, the pound will going down, and we want it to come down so we can get better prices. Strategy is ICT silver bullet. No, I traded a lot of ICT bullet, silver bullet. I even have the, let me see if I do have it here. I think I had it on FX. No, it wasn't that one. I think this ICT, there we go. Oh, I can't add it. The ICT silver bullet, I think, is a great strategy. It gives you a nice time frame. It's a great strategy because it hits the high volatility volume areas of the London session. It's very similar, actually, the way I trade, because I do want Asia to be taken out. I do want to see a reversal in price in London, which he calls the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So it will be quite similar to that, the way when you look at how I trade. Let's see. Let's see what's happening here. We've got 30 minutes to go. Ideally, we want to see this price come down. Calm down. Come on. I want it to push around this area. This is the area where I would be interested. TK strategy. What's TK? Wait, maybe I know this. But the way I will think about this trade is I want to see Asia being taken out. I want to see the price either go to two things, either equilibrium, which is from ICT. So we're looking at the previous daily mid-range equilibrium. Then I would want to see that mid-range of the daily candle be either respected or it breaks through. If it breaks through, then I have my weekly level here. That is the weekly level. If you watch the video, on blah, 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 Trade Set Go, we did a line analysis. So we did a historical line charting, and put your levels on a line chart is a really good solution on looking at levels. And it takes away all the wicks and so on. You may have seen these, like Scruffy talks about these all the time. One of my mentors, and he showed me the impact that a line chart has. You can see how well they get respected. So if you go on a weekly level, you will see that the indicator that I've created, it will take a second to populate, is tracking the weekly levels here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It finds it really, really well. So that is a really nice way to find levels. Hey there, it's been a long time. A ghost in the crowd. I do remember that name. Nice to see you. It's like we've traveled back in time and we're all here. Nothing's changed. It's good to see you. Obviously, if you're wondering, in this stream, we will be doing these lives every Tuesday on Trade Set Go. The mission here is to provide as much value as possible to traders, but not fake value, things that actually work. The only way that I can show you something that works is showing you what works for me, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be the strategy that you have to follow, but you might see something and be like, hey, I like those lines that you've learned from Scruffy and from Dow. I want to know what they're all about. How do I use those? I remember being here since the first time you streamed. Wow, that is a long time. That is a long time. You're showing your age there, Ghost. This is where he says, I'm not that old. Oh, wow, he's back. I can't take a loss. Yes, that is true. The history of I can't take a loss came from a 6-month Green Day performance that I had. So that was absolutely insane. Yeah. I'm actually on a good streak right now. Either in London or New York. Hi, bro. ICT silver bullet strategy, high probability London or New York, both. And with the concept of ICT, you have 3 areas. One is the New York, one is the London, and the other one is a New York overlap. Three areas there. But you can go and find, there's indicators like ICT Algo that will put that times on. There's loads of videos on there. Do you trade? Hello, Harry. Nice to see you. And hello, CJ Project. You trade prop firm now or live account. This is a prop trade. So I'm going to show you guys what I do with a small account from a prop, how I then move that into a CFD brokerage, and how I use leverage to build up the account in a safe manner, right? This is the massive benefit that we have at Trade Set Go, is that you can have up to 400 leverage. Now someone will say 400 leverage? Oh my God, imagine if you have a 10,000 account. Now you can trade it for like 400,000. It doesn't work like that. You need to use leverage carefully to build your account. If your goal is to become a full-time trader, you need to start small, and that small compounded will build a small account, you can definitely start with, if you don't have a lot of capital, with prop firms, because look, this account was 5,000, now is 40,000. That's a big jump. And you know that doesn't mean that I have 40,000 of capital. And this is where people go wrong. It means that I have the stop of the 4,000 capital. So the stop of this might be, I don't know, 3,000. That account now means it's gone from 500 from 100 investment that I had to a 4,000 account. That's a massive improvement. We are trading very opposite, but some of your tools are interesting. I'm only trading GU since 2019, and you are also trading GU, and I'm interested in learn some of your tools. It was interesting. I mean, I explained this to the guys in the Discord. By the way, guys, make sure you click on this QR code and join the Discord, because I'm there daily. And every Monday, we do a non-live in the Discord where I literally trade the New York session as well. So what's the time, by the way? We've got 20 minutes. Make sure you go there, because I also show you how I trade live within the Discord. So you have 2 opportunities in a week. We have Monday and Tuesday, and you don't want to miss it. So 2 things. Do me a favor, since we're all here, make sure you subscribe to the channel on Trade Set Go, and you hit the QR code that's on your screen, and that will take us to the Discord. In there, I know our moderator doesn't like people tagging my name, but if it's trading related, I don't mind it. Tag me if you're like, hey, I tried what you talked about in the webinar or in the tool section, or I tried your trades, or not my trades, but I tried some concepts of the trades. If you tag me, I'm always going to answer your questions. So make sure you join us, and then and it's all free. No payments. It's all free. Free value for you guys. That is the benefit of Trade Set Go. Right, so we're taking the previous daily high. We are pushing a little bit down. This is nice. This is nice. Let's go and see. We're getting closer to equilibrium. How far are we? We are about 20 pips. I always gonna, if I add the session on here, you will see. Is it on? It's doing its thing. It's gonna come up now. Really nice, clean chart, by the way. I'm loving the chart today. Compared to yesterday, it was horrible. So every 15 minutes, we're doing about 5 pips here on the average true range. I've added this into the indicator, so it gives me any time frame you go, it will tell you what it's doing. So on the hour candle, we are doing it doesn't show it on the hourly. It should do. I need to fix that. It doesn't do it on, I think it does. Why is it not showing it? It's loading it. Maybe it's loading it. So on the 4 hours, it's still loading. There we go. We're doing 23 pips. Can we get the indicator? Yes, guys, I'll put the indicator. I've already put it in the description of the educational hub on the Discord. So if you go to the Discord and you go to education hub, you will see tools and resources. I will paste it in here after the live. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in. So if you go to the webinars, so if you're looking, for instance, the names of the tools that you want to use. So we've done 2 tools. One is the portfolio management. It will be able to tell you if you're exposed. These are really, really cool tools. I've developed these guys, so you know they're good stuff. If you go to the drawdown, will give you a geometric truth of your strategy. So you can go in here and you can click and download this calculator called Trade Set Go Geometric Truth Calculator. And you will be able to see if you're profitable if you're profitable, if your strategy is profitable. And if it does, if you're not profitable, it will tell you what you need to do to become profitable. And you'll see it has little scrollers. It's a really cool, it's built on HTML. So it's really, really nice. Maybe I'll show it to you in a bit. The portfolio one, it tells you at any moment of time how much exposure you have in currencies, stocks, or whatever you're doing. So that's also a really cool tool. And what I'll do after this live, I'll put in here the link for the indicators that I'm using on TradingView. So this will be this one here. I'll copy it in there. And the session tool that I'm using is the Session Tools by Boytoki. You can find that. That is online there, open source. Right, let's go back to the 5 minutes. Let's see what we're going to find today. We are 15 minutes into the session. This is going to be fun. Right, live, I'm going to ask the guys here, if you remember, when was the... are you still trading the same repositioning strategy? Absolutely. It's my favorite strategy. It's my little baby. I don't trade anything else. I've just changed the approach that I'm talking about trading, repositioning, and not bringing the Vikings on. But talking about Vikings, Norway. I hope we don't have anyone from Brazil here. If you are from Brazil, I feel bad for you and Neymar. I was so unfortunate. I really wanted to see Brazil do better, but as you know, I'm half English, and now we have to face that Norway monster called Haaland. But we have a monster called Kane. And if anyone watched the interview after the event, his voice was completely gone. Like mine is going a little bit now. But it was so funny to watch. Crazy game with Mexico. All right, enough of football. So what I'm going to be looking at, guys, let's take an example of the previous session, because this is doing a similar thing, actually. Look at this. We took the Asia lows. We went to the previous daily low. Then it pushed up and delivered. So I took about 20 pips on that. 20 pips is about... it's about what the pound dollar would do, about 80 to 90 pips. Position strategy was diabolical back then, and the stop loss would get hit after weeks. Don't remember trying. Are you talking about repositioning? If you are talking about repositioning, it's been good. It's the way that I've traded. Obviously, not everyone can trade the way I trade, but it has paid me really well. I've managed to go financial free and trading my own accounts, also prop firm accounts. But it's not for everyone, for sure. So through these sessions, what I will do, you can give me a concept that you're trading, and I can help you within your concept. But when I'm trading live, obviously I'll be trading my way of trading. Yes, I was making about $500 a day on that account. That was the 300,000 account prop. Yeah, I had a really good run on that one. It was big enough to be able to trade 500,000. So that's now we need $500 a day. So now it needs to transition from a smaller account and building, because at the time I was only trading prop. I didn't have my own accounts. So it needed to make the money. And that was a lot of pressure. Whereas now I've created a portfolio where I have a CFD account doing one thing. I have my prop, which is more the accelerator of my accounts. I also have a Vanguard account, which is the UK way of using stocks and long-term portfolio. And that's what you do when you're building your portfolio. You can't just think of now. that I have a prop firm account and I need to build it, or you need to think of developing your skill as a trader. How am I going to trade when I get my first CFD account? When you get your personal account, there's no daily stops, for instance. If you do repositioning without a daily stop, you're going to get hit hard. So you have to be extremely focused to be able to follow your rules. I think I was a Viking too, if I remember. I did go through that prop and I did too make a lot on that at this day. Trader Metivar. I killed your name on purpose. Nice to see you. He's a fellow trader. Go and follow this guy. He's cool. I actually play paddle with him. I'm just a little bit better than him, but don't tell anyone. It's not like anyone is watching right now. So, what are we looking to take here? I'm waiting for the London session to start, which is going to be starting in 12 minutes. I am liking what I'm seeing. I just want to see a little bit more bearish movement on the pound for me to get an entry, right? The reason, like we said, that I'm looking into this is because we have NFP, really bearish news on the dollar. We're also looking at historically strategies that are moving the pound dollar in a bullish seasonality. Then when we get into a trade, I'll talk to you about how I manage trades. This was a trade about yesterday. This is where I did my repositioning. Repositioning, what it means. Let's do a quick concept of repositioning. Let's say I enter here. That is a horrible line. Okay, I'm going to do arrows. Let's say I enter here. Okay. At this entry, I have multiple ways to look at this. The first thing I can do is, let's say I want to expose myself to one lot. So I go in with one lot. Let me get a text. That's how long it would be. Oh, there we go, my favorites. So I'm going in with one lot. What does it mean? That if that goes 20 pips in my favor, I'm making $200. If it goes 50 pips, I'm going to be making $500, right? So let's say I'm doing 20 pips to get this entry profitable. I'm looking to do this. Now, my stop might be that I want to risk, I don't know, I want to risk $50, or in my case, I always risk around in my normal accounts, I always risk about $1,000 to $2,000. It's a monetary value risk. It's not a 1 to 2 risk reward. But let's say I want to risk, in this case, for the numbers to be easy, I want to risk $50. So a $50 would be on one lot, would be 10 pips. No, sorry, 5 pips. Now, that trade looks great on paper. So I'm making $200 to lose $50, right? But it gives me no maneuverability. I have to be, my analysis has to be so good. I have to be correct all the time. I have to be able to hold my stops. I have to always be able to hold my risk reward, no matter what is happening to the market. And in my way of trading and psychology, that doesn't really play in my favor. I want to have time. I want things not to move so fast. That's why I trade with small lots. And as my account becomes bigger, then I start building the account. Still trading similar lot size, but I'm increasing safety. Legend. Hey Yiannis, it's Luna. Hello Luna, another fellow on the Discord of TradeSetGo. I think is this the Luna from TradeSetGo? What's your take on the dollar and GU going up this week? I hope so. This is the trade that we're looking for. We are going into 9 minutes. We're going to find out, Ghost, because my opinion is that we're sitting in a nice area for pound to actually have a bullish move. We are a little bit premium right now. Pound had a move yesterday. So we want to see a little bit of a retraction of price. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So here's the repositioning, because I got distracted by all these people talking to me. One lot to 20 pips is going for 5 pips. So the chances, obviously, to have a perfect strategy that you're going to be hit all the time is very rare. So that's going to be hit, and then you have to do it again, and then you have to do it again, and then you have to do it again, and you get the point. And you lose 6, 7 trades in a row, then you have to put that trade on the 7th. Now, what options do you have? You yesterday got me stressed, says Ghost. Well, if you were in the Discord, we nailed it yesterday. Not that it was a signal, but our analysis was perfect. We took that long. I'm guessing you were short, maybe. It's looking very bullish after the close above the higher high. Let me see. I'm not missing anything. Let's see. Even if I miss this trade, guys, I want to see this coming more bearish, and that's going to happen very soon in 7 minutes. Just got to wait for the retracement. I agree. I want to see that price come down for sure for me to get involved. So the other option of, I am going to get to this, the other option of this, which I call repositioning, is to break the one lot into multiple trades. What does that mean? I can have one lot broken down into 0.25s. 0.25s, anyone who didn't skip the algebra lesson, I can spread that into 4 positions. So I'm still exposing my same exposure on the account, but what I'm doing now, instead of entering with one lot, I'm entering with a smaller entry. If that hits 20 pips, let's do 0.2 actually, because 0.2, it will give me one more position, but it will also make the numbers easier. Okay, so now I've got one lot that it's spread out into 5 positions. Thanks for the English lessons. What a beautiful accent. I know you always want to copy me at everything I do. Nice to see you, Ivar. Catch you soon. You are missed here, I have to say, you are missed. So what we're looking at is 5 positions from one lot. Now it gives me a little bit of flexibility of what I can do. Before, I was going to be right or wrong. Now I can be wrong on my entry, and it will tag in a couple of trades. But then with the same exposure, the market might be right. So now I'm still getting paid when the market is actually going against me, because I've spread out my position in smaller parts. It's still the same exposure. So that is, in a nutshell, a very, very easy way of explaining pound averaging. You're averaging your position size. Now, I do a lot of things differently than traditional pound averaging. I have something that I call closing and something that I call bouncing. Got the shorts on the 15-minute, but I could be wrong. Oh, you're entering pre-market. Maybe that could be. I mean, you can be right, because I'm looking for a better price. So hopefully you are right, so it can bring the price down. So what I then do when I have this position here smaller, I can bounce the price between 2 arenas of my 2 positions, right? So this will be 20 pips, this will be 20 pips, this will be 20 pips. If I do that 3-4 times, that means that I've made profit whilst I'm holding these prices. On this is just DCA. DCA, dollar, we'll see, average. DCA, so dollar, I'm so bad with acronyms. Tell me, Jimmy. So unless you're referring to just Dollar cost average. Yes, it is. It is. But what I do differently is in a dollar cost average, what you would do is you average it into a position and then you would hold the whole position and see what happens, right? And when it becomes profitable, you take your profit out. Whereas I am treating each of these positions as different trades. So I can, for instance, depending on what the market's doing, I can manage this trade live. I have the flexibility. So if it goes down 2 positions, now I'm 3 positions in. If this price goes back to here, I could actually close this position for 0. And I can take the profit of this position because it's done 20 pips. And now I'm losing 20 pips because I'm down here. So I've decreased my risk and I've moved this trade where it would be 20 pips down, it would move to here because I have taken 20 pips profit from this. I closed the position that was here. So now I've managed to go lower onto the trade without making profit. And that helps me manage my trade backwards, going down without increasing risk, right? We might see this here because if we see pound dollar coming down in 2 minutes, ding, 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 London session, 2 minutes. We might see this live. Let me just check everything is ready to go. We are ready to go. 0.25. So, does that make sense, guys? Write in the comments if that makes sense. Like very well said by Jimmy, we're talking about dollar cost average and the nuances that I use to make that my own way of trading. If you are just joining, we broke down why I believe that we're in a bullish condition for the pound week-wise, like couple of weeks. It doesn't mean, and don't send me messages and say, pound dollar drop today. It can definitely drop. It doesn't mean that it's a bullish every single day from now on. It means that for my setups and what I'm looking for, I'm allowed to take long trades, even though the market might be going downwards. And what that does to me, it means that I can manage a trade that goes wrong, even though it's going down, because I know I have the backing of my bias and analysis. My entry, 3787. Wait, what? 3787. Oh, TP. Okay. I was like, what? 3787. So you're looking longs? And stop loss on top. So you're going long, I believe. Kalimera GJ10. 2 Greeks in here today. That's nice. It's nice to see. Guys, obviously, please, we're doing these live trade sessions for you. Make sure you join every session on Tuesdays. They're going to be incredible because I'm going to be throwing you so much working knowledge that actually works. And we're also going to be, make sure you join the little, where is it? It's that one there. Join that QR so we can talk on a daily basis. You don't have to wait for Tuesday because I'm on the Discord all the time. So if you have questions or you're trying things in the Discord, we also have this amazing thing called Educational Hub. In Educational Hub, you will get market intel on a daily basis if you're trading stocks and stuff, but you will also get my tools and my webinars that I do and this really cool looking AI guy version of me. But you can download these portfolio tools. You can download these geometric truth tools. We are building something really incredible for you guys, and it's all for free. So make sure you join. We're in the London session. Let's see. Boom. Average true range in the last 50 is 35 pips. So we're already 11% in there. So let's see what's going to happen. We're anticipating hopefully a little bit of a bearish move here to get involved. I would like it to break these lows and come lower. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. It's happening. It's happening. He's short from 33787. That's not a bad short. Good job. Okay, we can see the London box has opened. We are dropping down. Let's see what is happening on the picture of the dollar index. Opening London bearish is good, but maybe we miss a move because that might potentially spike up now. Oh, big pin bars there. That is not great news on the dollar index. Come on, break the high, and keep going higher. That is what we want. You know that feeling. Let me show you these comments as we speak. I'm being lazy. Ghost in the crowd. Oh, what a picture, by the way. I could not see it there, but you know what that feeling when you enter a trade and you start SE. Here's another acronym. Here's the bullishness candle on the dollar. That's nice. I'm guessing that means you second guess. I'm going to guess. Right, that is happening. Let's see. That's looking good. Do you still trade DCA positions, same as Scruffy? Scruffy was one of my first mentors. I use the lines that you will see here. He definitely influenced the way I look at the levels. He influenced the way that I look at dollar cost average for sure. I just changed a little bit of nuances to fit my personality and the way I trade, such as having ICT concepts and ICT entries, the silver bullet stuff that I used to do. So all the knowledge that you get from all these incredible people, you put it together, and then you create your own. We failed to break this. I don't like that. Stay bearish. Come on. Let's push below. Push below. We have done 5.8 pips. And you start sweating. Okay. There's no way I could guess sweating from SE. So I don't feel bad about that one. Look at the fair value gap on the 4 hour. Let's have a look on that fair value gap by PVT parts. Where are we talking? He's referring to here. We have a fair value gap here. That is a big area. Look at that. The equilibrium from the previous day is exactly on the middle range of that. I do like, we put a Fibonacci on there before. I do like this move here. We are approaching that 50%. If it goes to where I want, we are going to be hitting that 50% anyway, which is also that fair value gap. All the concepts are coming together. We just need to be a little bit patient, hopefully, to get an entry. A lot of the times I just feel like I miss opportunities because I'm too patient, but it's better to be less patient and get into trades that you then regret. Right, let's take this one. I'm not going to look at the position. So you've got the concept now about the dollar cost average. I'm going to delete all this so we can have a bit cleaner charts. Just to make sure that we're on the previous daily low is on there. Previous daily low is on there for sure. 15 minutes. Guys, if you haven't liked and subscribed to Trade Set Go, please do so you can get informed when the next video is coming out or when the next live is coming out. You don't want to miss them. There's some incredible videos out there already. We've done how to read price action. Why line charts, which is one of Scruffy's favorites as well. Why do I think line charts is the best way to analyze price, especially when it comes to daily, weeklies, and monthlies, or looking at historical data. We've done video playlists on psychology, and not only psychology, on neuro-linguistic programming. Ooh, fancy word. NLP. That means neuro for nerves. Obviously, the Greeks have come up with these names. In Greek, you call it nevro, neuro. Linguistic, using words, language, and programming, the normal programming that you see in algorithms. How can you program your brain? Let's say you're stuck in a drawdown and you want to program your brain to be calm. That is possible. Let's say you are taking over trading, you're trading way too many trades, and that feeling that someone is taking over you when you're trading, that is also possible to fix. You just need to rewire your brain. Right, we're seeing this. This is a good action, guys. I'm liking this because we've had a bearish break below this sell side, if you want. Then we've had a retraction, and now we're pushing lower. We've taken the low, just tapped it. We're going to have a reaction, but let me see. This might look cleaner on the hour. Yeah. So on the hour, there's not enough, this area here, that it could come and retest. But I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to move nicely into this. We're already the first 8 minutes into the session. I think volume is going to kick in now. It's about to happen. Sometimes you be watching Scruffy Trader and you start to realize there are things more to trading. Absolutely. Yeah. It's not a strategy, guys, is, and especially now with ChatGPT and Claude, you can ask Claude and it will give you a strategy within 5 minutes. But making that strategy, you delivering a strategy under concepts that will work for your psychology, that is the part that you need to learn. Asia range, what did it do? It only did 70% of the normal range today. Look at this. This is the Asia range. We did, I thought it shows that it shows it there. Okay, let me see if I can show the pips on the bar. Does it show it? Pips. Is that going to work? Yes, nice. So you can see here, 30.8 session, 15, 20 historical sessions. London session, previous sessions did 21 and 26 pips. It has shrunk a little bit. Hi there, what is your view on GU correlation to EU? Because I have been watching the same move, but EU is already at the mid of its 4-hour fair value gap. That could be a good indication, actually, Alan. I've never actually looked at the correlation. You know how in stocks people look at the ES. Oh, look at that spike now. Boom. That's an hourly candle spike? Damn. Okay, we might have the bullish candle here. Let's see. We might break this. Hold your horses. Are we going to break the high? I want to see it come a little bit lower. Can I risk manage from here? Probably could. I would like to get a more discounted price though. The other option is that this price goes to that fair value gap that we were talking about, and then we sell it to equilibrium. That wouldn't be a bad trade. Even though we're bullish, we know that we're technically in a bearish momentum to reprice. So with correlations, EU and pound are 93% correlated. So you're pretty much looking at the same trade. So when you're saying it already filled the fair value gap on the 4 hour, let's have a look. Yeah, that looks nice, huh? Don't make me take an EU trade again. I took one yesterday. That is already looking nice. I can see why someone would want to take that. We're at the 50% of the Fibonacci retracement. We're in that fair value gap there. It's coming off a monthly. Nice. I hear you. I hear you, Alan. Let's kill all these. It's too messy, the chart. I don't need the session look for now. 5 minutes. Okay, we're getting another bearish candle here. Let's see if it closes below. We want to close below this so we know that we're getting that momentum to go lower. The hour is rejecting, but early on the candle, I see. If it feeds my delusions all the time, okay. What? I want to see what Bitcoin was doing because Bitcoin was going crazy. I think there's going to be a bounce back. Yeah, there was a bounce. It's bouncing back up, but it had a massive sell-off. It went down to 62.7. Look at that though. Look, I bet you that is in the golden zone. 50% retracement. It's quite tempting. It is tempting. But I do want to get a good gold trade, pound dollar trade, because normally Tuesdays is my best day of trading. So I do want to get a good quality trade here. Talking about what days, do you have journals? Do you trade your? Do you look back at your trades? Okay. Come on. You know you want to. That 15-minute candle is not looking great, is it? 15-minute candle is this, this, and this candle. Might be a retracement for a bigger fall, says PVT Parts. He's referring to the Bitcoin. Damn, are we going back down to 40K? That would be a massive drop. The lowest level I have that will be an awful scenario for a lot of people. This here has to hold for look at this monthly here. The 58s have to hold. If it doesn't, and we break this low here, well, it's very hard to be bullish right now on Bitcoin day trading because look at this setup. Pushing down, retracing, pushing down, retracing, pushing down, retracing. If anything, it just looks for good opportunities to short this. And this is where the zero is, by the way, it's not far. Just kidding. Just kidding. But if you're an investor on Bitcoin, you know, someone might see this and be like, hey, this is cheaper than 120,000 that it was. I want to be involved. Okay, where are we? Come on, pound dollar. Give me a nice entry. Boom, boom, boom. It doesn't help that we don't have any news today. Good morning, B Bali boy. Who is this? Is this someone I know from Bali? Maybe. So if you're just tuning on, we are looking for a setup to take a pound-dollar trade. This is part of the series that we're going to be doing every Tuesday at TradeSet Go. We're going to be going live, showing you live what I do, all the concepts that we've been learning at the webinars, at the different videos that I've been posting, the live event that we had, that was epic. The launch of TradeSet Go, the CFD brokerage. We had an amazing event there. We do giveaways. We give free Fivers challenges accounts. Depending on how we do here, I might be able to provide another giveaway. Sometimes I don't like giving giveaways on live, even though I do like giving gifts. I know that people turn up for the giveaway and don't turn up for the incredible knowledge that you can receive. So that is sometimes the counterintuitive way of announcing that you're going to give a free thing that it's a good thing to do, but at the same time, people just turn up for the giveaway and not for the knowledge. And as we know in trading, to break into the 1% of traders who make it, news always hits when you have a position open. That's true. That's true. So let's have a look at financial juice. Currency strength chart. Strongest is the JPY, USD CAD. We are looking at pound right in the middle there. Let's look at milk baby pips. Let's go to strength currency. That is what we're looking at right there. We're looking at pound gaining. This is on the, if we look at the 4 hour, actually, this is quite good because it gives you a live look. The pound dollar has been bearish for the last couple of 4 hours. So that is what's happening there. If we look at the currency per time, we'll see that euro has changed. Yesterday, it was, this is all time frames. Let's look on the 4 hour. Oh, let's do all actually. You can see pound dollar is looking quite bullish on the weekly, on the monthly. The 4 hour has been bearish. So that also is looking good for us. Currency volatility, pound and euro are the lowest right now with 20 pips per session, which is very rare. Come on, pound dollar. It's going to break the highs, isn't it? If it breaks the highs, we are going to start thinking of a different setup. Following your risk management. Karish, following your risk management system from your videos to pass my challenges. Love your entry model as well. Super. I think it's going to help a lot. I think you're referring to the risk management tool that we have at TradeSet Go. Make sure you click on the QR code and you can go and get that. The tool is the drawdown session. We did a webinar. Actually, I would recommend you to watch this webinar because it's really good. It's really good. And you can get the tool here as well. Green candle, Yiannis. I saw that. It was, let's see. It's breaking, it's rejecting. Now, let's see if this closes here. If the 5 minute closes here, we could potentially start to be bullish, pushing high earlier than I thought. I can't really be bearish on this until, let's have a look how high it would have to go for me to make sense to be bearish on this. We would have to hit up 61% because I could manage, what's that? That's a roughly 15 pips there. I could manage that to be bearish. But ideally, I want to be bullish. Either way, I'm happy to short on the highs, on the rejection here to go lower to equilibrium. I'm also happy to buy on the longs, but ideally I want to be on the long side. Like your voice, like radio DJ for me. Wow, that's good. That's good to hear. I appreciate that. This is Wilsonis Gold. Do you trade gold? Let's have a look at gold, actually. I don't want this. I want spot gold. I need to start looking at spot gold. I always look at the futures. Ezra trades, finally seeing TSG trade stream on the right time. I know. I love this time because it's actually trading time, and all our streams are normally at 10 o'clock at night, which is not ideal. But gold, guys, we looked at this. The gold went super high on the news of the NFP after having very, very bearish reactions. But look at that. The overall dollar impact it's having on pound is quite a bit. If you look at that Fibonacci retracement, oh, I'm missing the high there. Look at that, 61.8 area we're holding at. And this price action here looks like it's starting to do some nice price action. Higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. Broke lower low. Now we're in a bit of a lower low situation. If you see another break of higher highs, could be a nice opportunity. Which hasn't been a lot of opportunities on gold to go long because it has been going rocketing to the sky. Pound dollar, let's not miss the move. Let's not miss the move. Come on, candle, break low. Now, is it realistic? If you consider that we're doing 20 pips, why are we doing 20 pips on the pound? It's crazy. Is it realistic that we're going to expect? Let's see. It is realistic, 20 pips. How many pips do you often target? I love 20 pips. The reason is because it gives me really nice opportunity to risk manage. And if you miss the risk management, I have this really cool tool that I use for, and I'm going to borrow my friend's, what was his name? What was your name? It was Jimmy, DCA, the acronym for dollar cost average. So I've used the Fibonacci, and then I changed this into my repositioning tool. It's all black. I need to make the color white. And this will give me up to, I don't know how many I've put here, but multiple trades that I can use to risk manage. Now, everyone that sees that, the first thing they see and say, they talk about laddering. This is a ladder. You're doing the ladder. You're trading the ladder. No, guys, this is not the ladder. This is just 20% apart, just so I can see where the trades are. I want to place them 20% apart. So, we have to wait a little bit longer on this, but meantime, I want you to, let's do a little bit of a scan actually. How can I do this? Will it give me, annoyingly, it won't let me do the alerts because I need to upgrade TradingView. Who's been there? Will it give me the... Okay, I need to upgrade oh, I forgot the date, but now I want to wait for an opportunity to upgrade. Because you know how they give you these 80% discounts and so on. What strategy are you using? So my strategy, guys, for the new people that are here, I will tell you my strategy right now, but please do me a favor and like the channel and join the Discord because it helps us as well. I'm just looking at some messages coming through. So my strategy involves, it's very, very simple, actually. It's very simple. The biggest part of my strategy is trade management. That's what I call myself. I don't call myself a trade entry guy, a trade execution guy. I'm a trade management guy. And my biggest sort of, I wish I could do that right now, but I might miss the trade. If we get into a trade, I could do a replay on a random time and I'll show you what I mean by my risk management. If we're not able to do that, that's a good idea. I might do it on the next live on Monday in the Discord, just so you can show you the risk management that I use. So, strategy-wise, very simple. Listen in, guys. And you can timestamp the time so you can come back and hear about this. If you don't know my background experience is I was a data analyst for elite sport, right? I used to analyze athletes competing at Olympic Games. So I love pattern recognition and I love data and I love information that is objective. Those are the three things. So what you won't see me do is trend lines, especially trend lines that are subjective. So you see a lot of lines here, but you will see all the lines are horizontal. And I'll explain that why, because they're specific points to horizontal. I start with a bias that comes from, I always like to have 3 version bias. Now, a 3 version bias means that I want a bias that is coming from fundamentals. Yawning, everyone, I know. But that fundamentals takes 5 minutes, is not hard to get. It comes from historical data, which can be seasonals, and it can be technical historical data. And finally, levels, price levels. What is price doing? Those are the 3 things that all need to fit in for me to have a bias. We're following with this? I think so. Now, when all these 3 things happen, then I go into the chart and I look at what, let's say I've got my bias, which today, for instance, it was bullish. Then I look at the price on the previous day. Where is the price in relation to my levels? Let's turn on the levels. These levels, the red ones are monthly levels, the weekly levels, and the orange are weekly levels, and the white ones normally are daily levels, but I don't add them. If you go into the indicator that you can find in the Discord, this is 12-month back monthly levels, 26 weeks back levels, and daily levels. I've only had 7 in there, and sometimes I don't show them. But so I look at my levels, and I want to see where is that price on the historical levels. And here you will see the acronyms that are on the levels for ease of use is WR, WS, and DR. That's a weekly resistance, weekly support level, and a daily resistance. That means that 3 lines are on top of each other there, okay? So there would be 2 yellow lines on that. So that means that it's a very, very good level. And price can react to it. Now, when we were up here and we were close to a big level, I have 2 things that I can think about. Are we breaking that level? Are we retesting that level? Or are we rejecting that level? In this case, we are rejecting this level. Now, if we're rejecting that level, two things can happen. We go to the previous lower level, which is another weekly level here. And let's have a look at that range. It's a daily range. It's about 60 pips, so it can happen. Are we rejecting the level to go down there? Remember this thought. Are we going short to get to the next level? Or are we retracing to have a new push to break the level above? Those are the two scenarios. Because I'm bullish, I only think of the push upwards. So now I know that I want the push upwards. Then I look at my trading sessions. I look at my Asian session, London session, and New York session. I only trade for entries around London and New York, right? So ideally London. I don't want to get into New York because it gives me half of a day that I can't use. Now, that's when I bring on my session tool, which is already on there. So if I go on a 15-minute, we talked about the bias, the fundamentals, which if you've missed, go back to the video. So I don't want to repeat myself, but I show you how you do your seasonality. I show you how you do the commitment of traders report. I show you how you can look at prehistorical data. All those three. If you find it in the video in the back, maybe put a timestamp so people can view it. So when we've done all that, and let's say it's bullish, then we talked about where is price action around levels. Finally, and these levels is an automatic indicator that I have created. I used to do all this manually. Now I've created this indicator and it just puts the levels on there, which is great. I'm seeing that bullish candle here. It's a second attempt here. We're going to see if we can try and push this. If we try and push this higher, I'm going to go back to the strategy. I might try and short this into equilibrium if we go higher. Now, because I'm bullish, I want to see three things. I want to see the Asian range, this one, be taken out. And it has taken out the Asian range, the low. That is great. I want to be buying when I'm reversing the Asian range. Now, the other thing is, how can I find a bullish trade within London, within the, when we have taken the Asian range low? You can do this multiple ways. You can say, I'm going to break this structure here. When the price retraces, finds the lows, I'm going to be bullish here. But for me, because we're in what we call, and this comes from when I used to trade at ICT, we're in a premium range. And all that means is that we're in the top side of a previous daily high. So price, if you think of the previous day prices, so if you go and buy milk yesterday, and the milk yesterday cost $10, but during the day, the milk at the bottom of the day cost $5. Does it make sense to buy milk at $8 when yesterday it was at $5? It doesn't make sense because you're so far from the low of the previous day. So what I'm trying to say here, we're trading at the highest value of the previous day. So we want to see that value become cheap. And when that value becomes cheap, then we can plan our trade to go in. That's how I think about it. In ICT terms and in everyone's PD arrays, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Previous day arrays. Scruffy calls them daddy levels or the previous daily levels. There's so many ways that everyone looks at the same thing. What has the previous day done? Is the most recent candle, big candle, high time frame candle that is very, very informational for today. So you could literally trade just the previous daily high without any concept of what's going on in the world. But for me, I just add a little bit of edge by utilizing everything that I know. Now, so we talked about all that. You, for instance, or someone else might be happy of taking this price here. You know, we're not, if we look at the whole range, we said it's 70 pips. The equilibrium is only 12 pips away. Maybe you're happy to take that long. But for me, I just want to structure my trade on the structures and levels. So the 50% of the previous day is the start of where I will want to get involved in this. The second trade that I would like to enter, and I'll see if I can make it possible. Ideally, this is 20 pips. It's perfect. It's 20 pips. Come on. Yeah, he calls them daddy levels. It's funny. Because of DD, daddy levels. Daily levels, daddy levels. I love Scruff. He's so funny. When it pushes down, we have a trade that will be our first entry here, second entry here. And we are discounted at levels of the previous day. And we do have the previous daily low to protect ourselves. Okay? That's a Quasimodo level. I think you're talking to this one, right? The Quasimodo back level up there, Afritech. I love the naming of that. It looks like a Quasimodo back. So yeah, that is good signal here. Who asked for the strategy? Let me see. It was Rel Plays. Does that make sense so far? What I'm telling you? Maybe the bias, you need to go back and rewatch, but does it make sense of why at this moment of time I'm long or thinking of long? And that is the most you can do. If you think about something, when someone is explaining a strategy, first of all, the strategy needs to be so simple that anyone can understand it. If it's not simple that anyone can understand it, there's two things. One, the strategy is not good enough because someone can't explain it. Or it can be things that you don't know, and that's okay because you can learn them. PVT says very. I hope the person who is looking for the strategy makes sense of this. And for the people that are watching this new, the timestamp is probably around, what is it now? It's 9:30. We started talking about strategy. So yeah, if our editor can put a 9:30 little clip there where everyone can see it. Yiannis, do you trade the NASDAQ? Because New York session is almost midnight there. I do not. I wish I could, but I have two kids. And look at these pin bars. Guys, we're going to nail this. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I'm happy for my friend, who is it? Who is short right now, because this is looking great for him. Yeah, NASDAQ, what I like about NASDAQ is you get so many clean opportunities. Look at that, Asian taken out, boom, resells into fair value gaps. Now you can see a bearish candle coming in. If you look at the history, taking the Asian high, sell off. New York, extremely bullish. Obviously, it doesn't work all the time. If it worked all the time, your strategy. For instance, here, if you try to short this, that's the one for the people that know. No moves with heavy price. I agree. It's not moving crazy right now. We can keep an eye, actually. 3381. What price are we looking at before we start talking about the NASDAQ? We are looking at 133628. 133628. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. NASDAQ. So for instance, this is an example here. If you try to do repositioning, why I don't trade NASDAQ so much is because, and I have a massive video on repositioning. I'm going to redo it for Trade Set Go because I think it's going to be really useful for you guys. If you have seen that video, you know that I want things that range. And the NASDAQ, if we look at the history of NASDAQ and any stock exchange, is that a ranging market? Do we think that this is a ranging market? I'm hoping that everyone who's watching the stream says no, because this is not a ranging market, it's a screamer going upwards, right? And that is all indices that they are biased bullish. Why? Because every year the S&P 500 reshuffles the companies, brings up the best companies, the best 500 companies in the US, puts them into the S&P, and what happens to the price? Boom, goes higher. Obviously, we have certain events like in COVID and so on where things crash. So repositioning on the NASDAQ, on the S&P, on the DAX doesn't work very well. And if you don't know what repositioning is the way the way I manage my trades. You can call it DCA, a dollar cost average. It's trending. You're right. It trends to the upside. It's indefinitely, unless we have, I don't know, a massive nuclear bomb takes out US, which if that happens, we're all dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. So anticipating and saying that the market is going to be bullish for the foreseeable future, that means that I can't really trade pound average or cost average on my trades, because I would get blown up very, very quickly. And we can see that. So for instance, let's go to a 15-minute. And we open our session. So this is a good example, actually. The Asian range, 113. So that is 113 pips here. So if I shorted this after the Asian range, takes the Asian range. Let's go on a 5-minute. God. Just seeing some of the comments. Where is it? Oh, so not going to give me. Okay. I need the non-future NASDAQ. I'm keeping. I thought I saw 63 there, and I was like, has pound dollar gone down 63? God, we're missing the trade. Let's go on the hour. Gap up on the NASDAQ here. Look at these gaps. So messy. Maybe I'll go back to that. Right, so if we look at, you could have CFD NASDAQ futures, but yeah, the futures you were looking at, you can look at the index as well, right? So the index price action. So if I entered on this, and I entered to get my let's say I was aiming to get a 1% drop or 0.10% drop. That would be 117, which is average, which it looks like it's within, let's see the average. The average is 90. Okay, so let's say 100. So I would get 100. Price would net get my TP. And even if I reposition this every 100, I would have to have 4 positions 4 positions until I can manage this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this potentially you could manage out of it. And what I mean by that is if price is going against you in my repositioning, you can see that that price came down. So within this arena here, let me see if I can show it. So let's say we're entering here. I got filled here, filled here. I don't get price to come down in any of this. So I would be stuck in this. Let me just extend that. Extend to the right. So I would be stuck in this trade for 1 position, 2 positions. I guess that would tap me in. So that this position here, this position here would have come down to this. So that means that I would be able to get profit out of these two, and this would be my losing trade. So even in this scenario, it would work, but overall, it's a very, very difficult market. If I compare this trade to a pound trade, you will see that the pound oscillates a lot. And what I mean by that is the Asian range, if you're shorting this, it will be from 1 o'clock, then it was 240, and then we sold off, right? So even if it doesn't sell off like this one, it does oscillate within a range of 60 pips. So you are able to manage a trade. Does it happen where it doesn't oscillate? But you can see all this oscillation that happens, even if it goes higher, is nice and clean. But there are obviously occasions like Brexit where it acts like an index. It just sells off. So let's see where the price is. Are we going to get an entry? I was anticipating a nice entry here. It's not happening. Look at that doji on the hour. Indecisions. No news. That is what's happening. I'm struggling to see how we would get a better price on this. Ideally, that comes to here. But I think it potentially does this. And I would miss that trade because it doesn't fit my way of thinking. Yiannis, my long setup on NQ, 29,429, stop loss 123 minimum. Okay, let's have a look. You are my long setup on NQ is 29,429. 29. $429. Is this a swing trade? So you are long already? If you are long already, that looks good. 29, or you're waiting for it. I think you're waiting for it. 29,429. Down here. What is this? What is the reasoning of taking that? Let's have a look. Let's look at the levels. The clean levels I have is obviously this low here, 29 threes. Yeah, give us some info on that trade. I need a little bit more information on that. Did the euro happen? Let's have a look on the euro. The euro looked like a nice setup. Okay, it's still in the range of a nice setup. I might have to trade the euro. The other thing with the euro is that we've got the previous daily is a massive pin to the top side. And get the middle range. Let's change that to a retracement so we can get the 50%. Okay. It's on the 50% now. It's at equilibrium, actually. Ugh. Everything is shouting trade the euro right now. Okay. Okay. Let's have a look at the euro. Who was it? It's your fault. Who brought it to my attention? I want the seasonals. Let's look at the seasonals for the euro. Longs allowed. Euro has support seasonal backdrop on 1 to 3 days. So we've started longing from May. We're looking at a high October. Not bad. Not bad in that case. Let's look at retail. Retail. Retail is on the lows. Do you know what? This is not bad, actually. We are dropping on the pound. We're at 79s. This could be the move, actually, now. It is the same idea. One setup looks a little bit better than the other. Right, let's have a look at this. Just need to see it break the lows, and then I'm confident that we're going here. Overall, I'm bullish on Q. I'm still learning. Yeah, futures is a great market to trade. For me personally, time-wise, doesn't make sense. Otherwise, I'll be all over it. I love indices and futures. Okay, this is a better looking 15-minute candle. Let's see if it delivers price. We have got 3 minutes to the hour. I am CFD guy. So if you're tuning in, we are looking for an opportunity. Well, I am looking for an opportunity to go long on the pound. It hasn't given me that opportunity yet. I have been analyzing the biases. I have been aligning everything with what I want to be doing. Now the bias is going to stay for the week. DXY is trying to push higher to break consolidation. Let's have a look. Consolidation. Yeah, it's the opposite of what this is happening. So I do think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen during the live. I think it's going to happen in a couple of hours. But we're stuck in a tight range right now, and this is going to break. You'll see in the next hour, at 10 o'clock, there's going to be a move. For sure. There's going to be a break out of this range. I can guarantee you that. We're stuck in this range. Let's see. And this is the other thing, guys, is how many times you look at charts and you just want to take a trade because you're there and looking at charts. Normally, the best solution to do is put your, if you have the TradingView paid version of TradingView, you can put your alerts on. Let's say you're looking for this setup. You can put a horizontal line there and another horizontal line on there. And when you get an alert, then you come back to the screens. Lay show, good luck. Most volume is around London, New York overlap session. How you manage it from where? Yeah, I mean, when I'm in a trade, everything that I do is very mathematical, not mathematical, but it's very straightforward. I would set the risk, then I'll be looking if I'm asleep, then I've lost some opportunities, maybe to bounce the price or maybe to manage the price differently. But overall, I never set risk that I will need to be watching the markets like a hawk, because then I can't sleep. So I'm very lucky that I can potentially sometimes trade the Asian session as well, if there's a nice opportunity on the Asian session. But mainly I'll wait for the London because it gives nice, clear opportunities. Today is one of those days. It's not a very clean day. The only clean trade that I could see is reversing the Asian high. That would be the only setup that looked okay-ish. And I do that sometimes when, let's say I had, because my bias was bullish, I couldn't do that. But let's say my bias was bearish. Where was it? I could have done it today, actually. I could have taken this trade here. So I would be managing this trade here. But as you can see, taking the Asian session without the confirmation and getting a better price doesn't give you a clean setup. Maybe you bounce this price here. So you have, that is a range of 10. So it's not much. You're doing 10 pips up, 10 pips down, 10 pips up, 10 pips down. And if you tighten your TP to 10 pips, your risk management becomes so tight. Okay, guys, this is 10 o'clock. I'm super happy to be live with you. I hope this has been informational. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe and click on this one. Click on the QR because then we can chat in the Discord. Let me know what you like from the sessions, if you want more of these sessions. In the Discord, we announce when the next live is. And in the Discord, every Monday, we're there for the New York session. So you don't want to miss that. Just waiting to see here a few minutes if there's any spikes, but it doesn't look like it. We're doing 5 pips on the 15-minute. Okay. So we'll call it there, guys. And I'll see you in the Discord, hopefully. And if not, there's a video coming out. Is it Wednesday tomorrow? It is Wednesday tomorrow. So there will be a video coming out tomorrow. It's a really good one, actually. It's on sessions. This is on Asian session, London session, New York session, how to analyze it, the differences, how much they move, and so on. So I think it's going to be a good one. Make sure you go and watch it, because I think you're going to learn a lot. Okay, until the next time, guys, have a good one. See you soon.